Yes, guys, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to this evening's live stream. And the day is here. The Premier League is back. In about an hour's time, it all kicks off again. Crystal Palace hosting Arsenal, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk all things Chelsea. Plenty of transfer news to get into. The latest on Wesley Fofana. Obviously, Cucurella announced today. We'll get into that as well. The futures of Marcus Alonso looks like he's one step closer to going out the door. The latest on Wesley Fofana, new bid going in or has already gone in, and plenty of other bits and pieces. Obviously, Chukwuemeka coming in as well. Hopefully, he might play a part tomorrow as well. So plenty, as always, to get stuck into. But we're going to start things off first with Marc Cucurella signing from Brighton, officially complete today, announced by the club, obviously unveiled with the new away kit as well, which we are playing in tomorrow. But we've obviously not heard from no official announcement from the club on the kit, but we do have that today, that Cucurella was unveiled in the kit, and the away kit, will be available to purchase for fans at the end of this month, August 31st. So not quite sure what the hold up is with that, or maybe some sort of supply or something, but that will be available on the 31st of August for the fans to purchase. But yeah, let's get straight into it. Marc Cucurella, the deal is done, £55 million plus add-ons. Let me just bring it up on the screen now. I think that's it there. No. Yes, the Marc Cucurella deal is done. Let's bring it up on the screen now. So Chelsea pay 55 million guaranteed fee plus 7 million in add-ons. It is a record transfer fee for a left-back. So now Chelsea have got the most expensive goalkeeper, the most expensive in Kepa, the most expensive striker in Romelu Lukaku, and now the most expensive left-back in Marc Cucurella, signed from Brighton. Deal until 2028, so it'll be a 6 years contract. Brighton signed Levi Colwill on loan deal without buy option as well. That's another big plus of this deal as well. A lot of people were worried that Levi Colwill, one of our most exciting prospects coming through the academy, having had a great season on loan at Huddersfield last year, was going to be involved in part of the deal or was going to permanently go to Brighton. I think by paying a bit more than money, we've enabled Colwill to go out on loan rather than permanently. So I think that's well worth the money. I think Cucurella is a fantastic player, 24 years of age, had a good season at Brighton last year. He's versatile as well. You know, he fits into this Thomas Tuchel system really well because it takes some of the pressure off Ben Chilwell, who's a little bit rusty in pre-season, still getting back up to fitness after that injury back in October. So yeah, you know, there's plenty to look forward to if Cucurella can play left-sided centre-back, which gives us much needed option there and a very good option there. Can play left wing back for the reasons just given as well to help ease Chilwell back in, and he can also play left back in a back four as well if we decide to switch it up. So yeah, I mean, this signing ticks so many boxes. It really is. It's a great piece of business. I know we've slightly overpaid. People might think that, but at the end of the day, it's not my money. It's not any Chelsea fans' money. So we've got the money to spend. Let's spend it and let's bring him in. But yeah, Marc Cucurella obviously had his first training session today at Cobham as well. I don't know if it's too early for him to be involved tomorrow or not. We'll have to wait and see on that one. But yeah, there's plenty of promise here. 24 years of age, so they can definitely develop. You know, obviously playing at Brighton last year, playing under Graham Potter, you know, who's an exciting manager. Brighton playing good football, so it'll be interesting to see how he makes the step up in class. Obviously, be playing Champions League football as well, and he's going to play a big part. He's not going to be a squad player or anything like that. This guy's here to hit the ground running. And I mean, I don't know if it's too early to say he'll start or not tomorrow, but I think he'll definitely play a part. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to seeing him. But yeah, £55 million guaranteed fee with 7 million add-ons. Yeah, it's a lot of money, but as I said, it's not my money. I'm a Chelsea fan, obviously, and I'm delighted that he's through the door. And if that's the money it costs, then that's the money it costs. We've got it. Let's get it done. He's in, and it's a really, really positive addition to the squad that solves not one area, but solves kind of 2/3, as I just said. But yeah, Cucurella has signed for Chelsea, announced today. Brighton was put out a statement yesterday, which I wasn't so sure about, saying there'd been a bit of a hold up to the deal, and there wasn't, despite what the reports were saying, this wasn't done. That was obviously nonsense from them. I think they just wanted to get Colwill announced at the same time. That was kind of the initial hold up there. But Marc Cucurella is now a Chelsea player, official and done, and he's signed in time to play some part tomorrow if Thomas Tuchel decides that he's going to play. There's also a little quote from him somewhere. Let me just bring it up. Yeah, that's the one there. In the new away kit, which I have to say I am a big fan of it, the new away kit. We're just going to bring it up now. This one here. No, this one here. No. That's the one. So there it is, new away kit. White with blue stripes, and Cucurella himself with a little quote. I'm really happy. It's a big opportunity for me to join one of the best clubs in the world. And he certainly isn't wrong there. And I personally can't wait to see him in action. It's going to be exciting times ahead. I think he could start tomorrow. I'll get to that later on when I do my player ratings. But yeah, Cucurella is a Chelsea player, and this is now done. Our third signing of the summer alongside Koulibaly and Raheem Sterling. There's been some phenomenal business. Whatever people think of Todd Boehly, he's come in. Yes, we've missed out on a few targets. Yes, it looks like we're, chasing people all over the place and it seems a bit scattergun. But the 3 recruits that have come in are of top quality and are only going to improve the squad and improve the team as we look to close the gap with to City and Liverpool. So yeah, there it is, Cucurella in the new away kit. He's delighted to be here. We're delighted to have him here. But moving away from Marc Cucurella and moving on to, obviously, who is now the number 1 target, and that is Leicester City's Wesley Fofana. A little bit of an update there. Ben Jacobs tweeting out that Chelsea's latest bid for Wesley Fofana was over £70 million. Won't be the last one made if rejected. Rodgers again has said that Fofana isn't for sale, but Todd Boehly means business. Fofana is Chelsea's number 1 target between now and when the window shuts. Obviously, this is going to be a difficult one to get done. It probably is going to cost £80-85 million. I think Chelsea probably will put that money on the table, but I think we're just testing the waters, and you don't want to go in too, if you go in at 80 mil, then they're like the only way is up. So to be fair, we went in at 60. I think that was rejected. L'Equipe reporting that the other day, the French outlet. So I think, £70 million for Wesley Fofana. The bid's gone in. That is fully expected to be turned down, but we'll go back with another bid there. For sure. Yes, we're probably going to have to pay the 80-85 million. Are we going to involve any players? Probably not. I don't think so. Leicester do have an interest in Callum Hudson-Odoi, but I'm not sure realistically if he's going to be part of the deal and if that's going to happen or not. I would suggest unlikely. I think this one's going to fully be cash only. So yeah, 80-85 million pounds for Wesley Fofana. But yes, it's a lot of money, but again, a top quality footballer. Loads of room to progress as well. Comfortable in a 4, comfortable in a 3 as well. It just makes sense. It ticks all the boxes. Young, room to develop, versatile across that back line. Great age profile, resale value as well if he decides to move on. And this is one that he's definitely keen for the move. Yes, I know we're not really in the strongest position here of this one, having signed a new contract until 2027 with Leicester until March. But there's a gentleman's agreement that in 2023, if a suitable offer came in from a Champions League club, then he would be allowed to leave. Yes, I know from Fofana's perspective, and from Leicester's perspective, it's a little bit taking the piss that, he's just signed a new long-term contract in March and it's August and he wants to fuck off. But, when the Blues come calling, you don't really say no too many times. So, yeah, Fofana, this is one to keep an eye on for sure. I'm growing in confidence that this will happen, but it is going to take a bit of time. It's, we're going in with this bid. Yes, you could argue that we're kind of wasting time because we know this is going to get rejected. But at the same time, we're letting them know we're serious. And yeah, I agree with Erin in the chat here. We've got bringing Fofana. He's a priority and a pro. We get him. Yeah, we do need to get this done. If we can get this done, it'll be phenomenal. I mean, it would just be ridiculous. You look at that Koulibaly, Thiago Silva, Fofana. We put Cucurella in there. We've got Azpi still, Chalobah. There's such good options there that defensively we're cooking at the moment. Yes, obviously going forward is a little bit different, but yeah, defensively I think we're going to be very solid. And if Fofana does come in, I think this is an upgrade on the defence we had last year. I think Koulibaly he's no worse than Rudiger. You could argue an upgrade. Cucurella coming in, is that an upgrade on Christensen? It's not really like for like, but it certainly adds more depth and versatility to the squad. If Fofana comes in, that is certainly an upgrade. And yeah, it is really promising. Leicester are going to be tough to negotiate with. a deal is there to be done, but yeah, they're going to have to offer a lot of money. And this one has got legs, maybe some more information over the weekend, but early next week. But for sure, Fofana's keen for the move. We want him. Bowley's serious about it. I think we will put the money on the table. So I do believe a deal is there to be done. But yeah, Wesley Fofana, for sure, the number one target. I mean, I've read that Gavardio at Leipzig now is the deal's not possible. So yeah, for sure, we're going to be looking at Fofana as that main target. And I think we have to get this done because I don't really think we've got any other targets. The likes of Kimpembe doesn't want to come. Skriniar, I think, is either going to stay at Inter or prefer a move to PSG. We're not looking at people like Pau Torres, Gavardo, as I just said, not possible. So, yeah, in the incomings, Wesley Fofana looks like the what's this one here? If we get Fofana, do you think we can get him and be ready for the Spurs game next weekend? That would be the dream, but this is going to be tough to do. Yes, deals can move quickly, but I don't know. There's an outside chance. I think the deal could be done next week, maybe, because Leicester will obviously need time to bring a replacement in as well, and they're going to sell him, and the deal's going to be done. It would be in their best interest to get this done more quickly than not. But if we get Fofana, do you think we can get him and be? I would say no, but we've seen how Bowley operates, and he can get things done quickly. With the likes of Sterling, with the likes of Koulibaly, that kind of materialised quickly. Chukwuemeka, who I don't know if I'm pronouncing that properly. I hope I am. That came out of nowhere. So no, Bowley can do business quickly. So, Aaron, I wouldn't say no, but at the same time, I personally feel it's unlikely. But it's definitely a watch this space on Wesley Fofana, and what an addition this would be to the back line. It would be phenomenal and really elevate us up another level. But yeah, that is the latest on Fofana. A £60 million bid rejected. Chelsea's latest bid, £70 million, as reported by Ben Jacobs here. And it's not been rejected yet by Leicester, but it obviously is going to be rejected. They want £85 million. Roger's obviously saying Fofana's not for sale. Well, he's not exactly going to come out and say he is for sale. Leicester were adamant that Chilwell wasn't for sale. The money's right that this deal will get done. And I think we will offer the money, and there's a deal to be done there. So, yeah, for sure, watch this space on Fofana over the weekend, early into next week. And I'm growing in confidence that he will be a new Chelsea player. But again, it's gonna be tricky. Leicester aren't easy to deal with, and at the best of times. So we'll have to see what happens on that one. But yeah, all things are going in the right direction on this Fofana deal as it does gather pace, and hopefully it's going to be a positive outcome for Chelsea and all parties involved. Leicester getting the money they want, Fofana getting his move, and Chelsea getting a top quality player that we so desperately need. Whilst we're on defenders, I might as well move on to Cesar Azpilicueta. Obviously, last night came out broken by David Ornstein in The Athletic that Azpilicueta had surprisingly from a lot of Chelsea fans, it agreed to signed a new 2-year deal to keep him at the club until 2024. Barcelona had held talks with Chelsea about a move, but Bowley has wanted to keep him since taking over, and the 32-year-old is now committed to Stamford Bridge. So obviously, Azpi, it was well documented that Barcelona were interested. I think he wanted to go to Barcelona. All things are pointing that way. There's a deal there to be done, but I think Barca weren't prepared to match the fee that we wanted. I think we wanted about £9 or £10 million for him. Barca weren't prepared to pay that. Bowley obviously wanted to keep him there. Yes, he's a club legend, been here for over 10 years. He's won it all. Our most decorated player. 32 years of age. Yes, he's a little bit washed now. I've got to be honest. I really do think he's a bit washed, and particularly in the right wing back slot. I don't want to see him play there. If he has to fill in and do a job at right centre back for a few games, not really that fussed. I think also having him round the place for his experience with the younger players is invaluable. We've seen it with the likes of JT towards the end of their careers, Drogba towards the end. That sort of experience in and around the training ground, particularly for the younger players and the less experienced pros. It's a big plus. And Azpi is a legend, and he can still on his day do a decent job. As long as it's not a right wing back, then I think it's good. We've seen him predominantly play at right centre back in the pre-season. If he's going to play there and fill in for a few games or come on for a few minutes here and there to see games out, then I haven't really got a problem with it. And I think it makes sense from a Chelsea perspective as well. We're looking to spend a lot of money in the transfer window, and yeah. Sometimes, we can't get rid of everyone. We can't bring everyone in who we want to bring in. And keeping Azpi to have his cover for that right centre-back, I don't see a problem with it. If we go in with, say, Azpi and Chalobah at right centre-back, Fofana, Koulibaly, Cole, Silva, and then Cucurella to fill in at left centre-back depth as well. We've got 7 options there. That's plenty. And for me, yeah, this makes sense, really. You know, I see some people disappointed by it. It's like, it's a little bit, one, it's a bit disrespectful, and 2, he's not going to play every week. And what he does bring, as I said, is that invaluable leadership, that experience, which is invaluable around the training ground. So yeah, I think this makes sense from Chelsea perspective. I think it makes sense from an Azpilicueta perspective. And yeah, you know, I've got no issues with it at all. I think it's smart business. Yes, he is going up from 150k a week to 180k a week. That's quite steep for a 32-year-old who isn't going to play that often. But you know, yeah, I think with his experience, what he's done for the club, he deserves that deal. And yeah, it's a smart piece of business for me. Makes sense to keep him around. Bowley wanted him to stay. Tuchel's wanted him to stay. Yes, he's not what he used to be. As long as he doesn't, as I said, as long as he doesn't play right wing back, then I'm kind of happy with it. And Azpi staying, it makes sense for me. So yeah, Azpi will be staying for another 2 years. New 2-year deal signed. I'm just going to bring up a little quote from him. From it, I mean, if you haven't seen it yet on the Chelsea socials, Azpi, you know, done a little shoot in a pub and stuff around Chelsea. Here we go. So it's almost 10 years since I first arrived and joined the club. So I really feel the love. Yeah, I think that the fans love him. Yes, he's not as good as he once was. We're fully aware of that. But yeah, at the same time, it's kind of, yeah, it's a simple one to get done, and it adds a bit of centre-back depth there rather than us having to go out and bring another body in where I think the bulk of the money is going to go on Wesley Fofana. So yeah, for me, it makes sense, and Azpi can fill in for a few games here and there over the course of the season. And yeah, I think, yeah, nothing too much more to add on that one. Let me just get to a few things in the chat. They're still waiting for our best. Yeah, Michael Edwards, I think that's moving forwards. He isn't like, contrary to some reports, he hasn't rejected Chelsea. He's just not sure if it's the right time to join you. I don't know if he wants to wait until the January window or what's happening. But yeah, Michael Edwards, the former Liverpool director of football, is great in his job. You know, he really knows what he's doing. It'll be a phenomenal signing for Chelsea off the pitch. That's not dead. I still think this can happen. But yeah, I'm not sure if it's going to be announced this window. It could be announced towards the end of the summer window, potentially. What we got here, Matuku, I hope I've pronounced that right, mate. Let's get Fofana. He's young, energetic, and got all the ball skills and experience to learn from 2 veteran defenders. And I think he'll be a good addition to our squad depth. Yeah, mate, couldn't have summed it up more. Still young, phenomenal ability, and he's going to be learning from the likes of Thiago Silva, learning from Azpi, learning from Koulibaly. You know, there's not much of a better learning experience you can get, and more of a grounding in the game than Fofana would get if he does join the Blues. By the way, guys, if you haven't smashed the like button, please do smash the likes. And if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe as well. We're heading towards 1.2k subscribers now. I think we're about 7 or 8 subscribers away from 1.2k. So please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already and you're tuning in now. Would really appreciate that, guys. Yeah, Fofana for sure. We just covered him. We've done Azpi. Marcus Alonso appears to be one step closer to leaving the club and joining Barcelona. Fabrizio tweeting out earlier today, Barcelona are really close to signing Marcus Alonso. Talks are progressing well with Chelsea after Cucurella deal completed. Personal terms were agreed months ago. He's been told it's really close now. Parties are waiting for Tuchel's green light, but now finally confident. I think this is the best solution for all parties. Alonso has been here for a long time. I just want to say, before I go into it in a bit more detail, I think he gets a lot of disrespect. I've been massively critical of him. I think a lot of people think he's terrible, think he's really shit footballer. Get him out of the club ASAP. I think over the course of his Chelsea career, I think he has been really good, you know, and in that left wing back role, he's come up clutch a number of times. You know, he's scored some really important goals for the team. Yes, he's not the best defensively, but you look at it, he's won everything there is to win at Chelsea, bar the League Cup. He had a really good Chelsea career. I don't know if he's a Chelsea legend or not. That's open to people's interpretations. But yeah, I feel he's done really well, Marcus Alonso, in his Chelsea career. Yes, it's gone downhill a little bit the last few years, but as I said, he's come up with a lot of goals. He's contributed a lot. He was fantastic in that title-winning season under Antonio Conte. But yeah, he's been a bit hit and miss, and I think, you know, into his early 30s, the time is right for him to move on, really. But at the same time, we'll get some half decent money in for him. He gets to move to Barcelona that he wants back to Spain to sort of wind down his career. And Chelsea, get him off the books, get his wages off the books. Cucurella comes in, we replace with some better depth there, better quality, younger age profile, brings the age of the squad down. But yeah, I think Marcos Alonso, fair play to him. A lot of fans aren't the biggest admirers of him. I've been critical, as I've said, particularly of him defensively, and he has performed quite poorly a number of times in the last few years. But as I said, he always comes up with a goal, and he's a very good finisher. He's come up with clutch goals in crucial moments. So we'll be thankful for him to that. But yeah, I think it really is best for him to move on in that regard. But yeah, it looks like Marcos Alonso getting closer to signing for Barcelona. So just the formalities that could be done over the weekend or the start of next week. Yeah, but it looks like out of the kind of the dead wood and the squad players that we need to move out of the club, it looks like that Marcos Alonso could well be one of those ones heading very close to the exit door now. So Alonso could be on his way out of Chelsea to sign for Barcelona. Looks like it's heading that way imminently. Moving away from, sticking with Barcelona, actually. Chelsea come out on Wednesday night, I think, Fabrizio tweeting that, and it's subsequently come out from other outlets, that Chelsea have been offered 3 Barcelona players or are interested in 3 Barcelona players. That's Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Memphis Depay, I believe, was the other one, and Frenkie de Jong, the midfield player. When I saw the links to Aubameyang, I was like, it's a bit odd. That doesn't make too much sense to me, that one. 32, 33 years of age. Yes, he's played with Tuchel before, had a good season under Tuchel. The only thing I could think of with Aubameyang is kind of like come in for a season or two. Yes, he's a good finisher, and it would just add a bit more depth to the team, to the squad, another attacking option. I'm not saying he would start or whatever. But yeah, again, people got questions over his attitude, over his commitment. But Tuchel's only ever had good things to say about him. At the end of the day, Aubameyang is a lethal finisher. Yes, he is versatile, but I think as his age has gone on, he's more kind of just straight down the middle. I mean, what would that say to someone like Broja? Another option to contend with. Would he reconsider his future if Aubameyang did come in? I'm not really sure, but I was quite surprised by this one. Yes, it is only interest at the moment, and he's in the list as it were. And I don't really think it's much more than that as far as I'm concerned. I mean, let me just bring up now what the tweet was on this one. Where is it? Let me just scroll down and find it. There we go. Yeah, this one here. I'll just bring it up now. But yeah, I'm really not sure on the Aubameyang thing. I just think it's talk, and we might have been offered him. Apparently, we've opened talks with the players' side, but again, I'm not sure on this one. Let me just bring it up now. Chelsea are now considering Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang as a potential new striker. Discussions have already started on the player side. Still no bid to Barcelona. That was obviously from Fabrizio on late Wednesday night that came out. For me, I just can't see this one happening. I don't think it would make sense. I think it would make a lot more sense to go for what's his name? To go for Memphis Depay instead. I think younger, more versatile. I think a better finisher in my opinion as well. Depay. I think so. More versatile, can play wide, can play through the middle. I think he's got more skill, more ability about him. It would make more sense, and potentially he could also be available on a free transfer as he tries to negotiate himself out of his Barcelona contract. I think I read that somewhere. So Memphis Depay on a free would make a lot more sense than going for an aging Aubameyang. But yeah, guys in the chat, let me know your thoughts on the Aubameyang links. The conversations have started on the player side. The only reason I could see this happening is if Tuchel wants the player because they've worked together and he's got a good relationship with him. But yeah, I just think, I'm not really sure from a Chelsea perspective if this makes sense. I mean, if you're going to go for a 32, 33-year-old Aubameyang, why would you say yes to that and no to Cristiano Ronaldo? Like, if we're going to go for an aging striker, we might as well go for Ronaldo rather than Aubameyang, in my opinion. For me, it doesn't make sense. But yeah, guys, get involved in the chat. Let me know your thoughts on this one. Would Aubameyang to Chelsea make sense? Would you like to see that happen? I personally wouldn't like to see it happen. As I said, Memphis Depay I think would be a much better option. Again, Aubameyang, not a bad player, but he's getting on a bit now. I'm not sure I'm not sure what's going on with him at Barca. He only didn't sign there too long ago. They've got a lot of forward options. Like Lewandowski's come in. Obviously, Rafinha's come in as well. Dembele's re-signed. They've got a lot of options there. So I don't know if Aubameyang's thinking he might not play as much as he once was. Does he want a new challenge, etc.? He'd apparently be open to a move to Chelsea. But for me, I'd much rather have Memphis than Aubameyang. But yeah, guys, let me know in the chat, who would you rather have, Memphis Depay or Aubameyang, if we're going to get one of the two from Barca? I'm not saying we're going to get any of them, but yeah, let me know your thoughts. Memphis Depay or Aubameyang, which one would you rather have? But yeah, for me, let's have a look. Abdul Razak, for one season or two until Sesko comes in. Again, Sesko, another one. Look, like RB Salzburg do produce a lot of good centre forwards. Obviously, Haaland, Mane. Sesko seems to be the next one off the rank. Again, I've not watched an awful lot of him. By all means, he's still raw, but there's a lot of ability there. I still think he'd probably benefit from staying at Salzburg for another season. For me, Sesko, is he that much better than Brozier, for example, right now? I mean, I'm not saying he is or he isn't, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know the exact ins and outs on Sesko. Very talented boy by all accounts, but again, this would probably be looking at one to the future, really. This one, in my opinion, Sesko, I'm not sure. I'm not sure on that one. Watch this space. Man United are interested. Obviously, Chelsea, potentially interested now as well. But yeah, I think that would be more one for the future rather than to come into the squad now and make an instant impact. I still think we need a forward player. If Timo Werner leaves, looks like he could be going back to Leipzig. A deal can be done there. Obviously, got Hakim Ziyech, who could be going to AC Milan or possibly Man United as well. Supposedly, Ten Hag interested in Hakim Ziyech at Man United. I'm not sure how likely that is to happen, but Ziyech and Werner could be going out. So we could definitely need at least one, if not two more, in through the door. Probably definitely one, I'd say. But for me, it would be Memphis Depay would be the main choice, because for Aubameyang, we might as well just go for Ronaldo if we're going for an aging forward, as I said. But yeah, Sesko is another one that's potentially on the list. But yeah, let's watch this space on the forward players. I think the main priority is to still get Fofana in, and then depending on outgoings, we'll see what we can do on the forward player front. But I still think we definitely do need a forward. But yeah, I agree. I would definitely go for Memphis Depay on this one. Which yeah, the Aubameyang links for me were they were a strange one. If I'm being totally honest, I'm not really quite sure really where that came from. Didn't make a lot of sense to me. If we're being perfectly honest. But yeah, let's move on to one that was a bit of a surprise a couple of days ago. And I was sorry I haven't covered this earlier. I've been away for a couple of days. But yeah, Chelsea reached an agreement. Well, it's now all done, but Chelsea signed Aston Villa midfield player, 18 years old, Carney Chukwuemeka. I hope I pronounced that properly. Possibly not. 18 years of age. He was in the last year of his contract at Aston, but I think he made 12 or 13 appearances in the Premier League last year. Was part of the England under-19 side in the summer that won the European Championships. Obviously, he was away with Harvey Bell, who's at Chelsea as well. 18 years of age. Last year of his contract, £20 million. A big spend, £20 million on someone in the last year of his contract and at 18 years of age with relatively little experience. But by all accounts, one of the most promising and exciting players coming through in England at the moment. I don't think any of us were expecting it. I mean, I think things really accelerated when last week Todd Bowley, who had a kind of a dinner with all the Premier League executives and stuff, which I think was criticised a little bit on socials, that why is he having a dinner when he should be sorting out other business? But for me, that's Ornstein tweeting out that's where kind of it really accelerated. He sat next to Christian Purslow, who's the Aston Villa executive, and I think they pretty much thrashed out this deal for Chukwuemeka. I don't know much about him, but 18 years of age. I mean, Bowley signed him for the first team. Tuchel seems to think he's ready to go in at the first team, and he's going into a stacked area of the pitch at Chelsea. You know, we've got the likes of Loftus-Cheek, Kante, Gallagher, Jorginho, Kovacic. I mean, I'm not saying he can't compete, but Tuchel seems to think he's got the quality to go straight in. I mean, I'm not saying he's wrong, but yeah, the fee is £15 million plus add-on, so it'll be £20 million, 6-year deal until 2028. It's definitely exciting, and it's great to see that Chelsea are not only looking at the future with the likes of Sterling, Koulibaly, Cucurella, sorry, the present, they're also looking to the future. And we're bringing in some of the most exciting young talents as well. Signed Slanina, the 18-year-old goalkeeper from Chicago Fire. Obviously, Chukwuemeka has come in as well. So Amari Hutchinson from Arsenal, who's gone out on loan to Reading, I think, in the Championship. We've got Levi Colwell already on the books, gone out on loan to Brighton, a Premier League loan. Like, we're building for the future, and we're also building for the present. So we're looking like we're doing smart business. So we're signing players for the years ahead. And I think Chukwuemeka is, by all accounts, could play some part. Yes, he's in a stacked midfield there, but at the same time, with 5 substitutes, probably going to be 60-odd games again this season, I think he'll play a role. Him, Gallagher, Kovacic, Kante. Kova and Kante, not the best with, in regards to their fitness and whatnot. So there's potential for Chukwuemeka to play a lot of minutes. But yeah, I think it's an exciting signing. One that I wasn't expecting. One that kind of really came out of nowhere. But it is what it is. Something just on Sesko, very briefly. Let me stop sharing now. We'll get back to Chukwuemeka, but we were discussing Sesko. There's just been a tweet from Fabrizio, which I will bring up now in regards to the future of Benjamin Sesko, because a few people have mentioned him in the chat. Here it is. Benjamin Sesko will not decide his future before the next week. Meeting scheduled to think about proposals and then make final decision. Man United is still in talks after meeting with his agent more than 2 times, but it's a 3-club race. So I believe that must be United, Chelsea, and one other. So the future of Benjamin Sesko has not been decided just yet. He will decide next week. It's a 3-club race. We'll have to see what happens. But again, he's another young striker that Chelsea are interested in. But back to Chukwuemeka, again, I think, great business. Really pleased to see Chelsea building towards the future as well as the present. Chukwuemeka, Slanina, as I said, Omari Hutchinson. These are all exciting signings. But as I said, £20 million is a big amount of money to spend on an 18-year-old with 1 year left on his contract, 12 to 13 Premier League appearances. And you don't really spend that sort of money on someone to come in and play in the PL2 or the under-23s development squad, whatever you want to call it. It's one you bring in for the first team. And by all accounts, the gaffer thinks he's ready. The club think he's ready. So, I think we could maybe see him from the bench. 5 subs is going to be a massive plus. A lot more room for squad rotation, a lot more minutes available on the table. But he's not going to be a starter. He'll probably start in League Cup games, early rounds of the FA Cup. He'll come on for minutes when, we've got the game wrapped up in the Premier League. But yeah, I think this is an interesting one, and one that I am excited for. But yeah, that's definitely a good one. I'm just going to bring up one more tweet before I move on to looking ahead to the Everton game. I mean, there's always plenty of transfer news to discuss, but yeah, at the moment, let me just bring this up now, just to show what business Chelsea have done so far. Let me find it quickly. But yeah, I think we have done some really good business. I was excited to see where it goes next. But this is the business so far. Let's just bring it up very briefly. Here we go. So yeah, Chelsea's 22-23 window so far. Raheem Sterling in for £47.5 million. Koulibaly in for £33 million. Slanina, the young goalkeeper, in for 12. Chukwuemeka in for 15 mil plus add-ons, and Mark Cucurella in for £55 million initial fee. We've spent £162.5 million so far, with other add-ons potentially taking it to £174.5 million. So Bowley and Egbali, not messing about, come in, we're spending big money. We will recoup some of that money back through player sales with the likes of Alonso going. Hopefully Timo Werner moving on. We will be moving players on that will bring funds in as well to help balance the books a bit more. But there'll be another significant large amount of cash going out for Wesley Fofana. But yeah, great to see us building for the present with those 3 signings, and to the future as well with these youngsters coming in. I'm really excited to see them. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all the latest on the transfer news at the moment. Obviously, Cucurella officially announced today. New bid gone in for Wesley Fofana, £70 million, expected to be rejected. Marcus Alonso's on his way out. The future of Sesko will be decided in the next week or so. No more real updates on the likes of Frankie de Jong and Memphis Depay or Aubameyang, etc. Nothing too much there. So the next big one is really Wesley Fofana. But let's get into the Everton game then. The Premier League is back. Chelsea with a tricky start away to Everton, back up against Frank Lampard again. We went there at the back end of last season, unfortunately lost 1-0. It was a terrible, terrible performance. We don't have a good record there at all. I think the last time we won there was in 2017 or 2018 under Antonio Conte, where I think we won 3-1. But other than then, our record at Goodison Park is absolutely abysmal. I think we scored 1 goal in the last 6 years there. Really not a great omen at all for us. Our record there's got to change. Everton aren't even really that good. I mean, I was at the game there last season at Goodison. They were fighting for their lives, trying to stay up. Obviously, we didn't have as much to play for at the time. The fans are fantastic there. I think that really gave them a G up. But Everton are going to be in trouble as well. They've lost their best player in Richarlison. Calvert-Lewin's out injured. Yes, they've bought in the likes of Dwight McNeil from Burnley and Tarkowski from Burnley, but they've got, I don't know who they're going to play up front because they haven't really got anyone. So hopefully it shouldn't be too difficult to deal with attacking wise. I mean, McNeil will play one side, I'd imagine. Maybe Damari Gray will play the other side. They've got Anthony Gordon as well, but no real centre forward there at the club. But yeah, it's going to be tough. You know, I think Everton are unbeaten in opening day fixtures in the last 10 years. So, yeah, they've got a good record on the opening day. We don't have a good record at Goodison. Something's got to give. But, you know, after a difficult pre-season, the tour of the States wasn't the best, but things were a lot more promising in the 2 games against Udinese. We've brought a couple more signings in. The atmosphere seems to be much better again. Some good training at Cobham. I think, you know, we're feeling ready to go for the season. Tuchel, after his comments after the Arsenal game, he's highly critical. He seems in much better spirits now in the presser today. I'm just going to bring a few quotes up from the press conference. Tuchel himself, you know, saying that since the Arsenal game, we stepped up. You feel a new focus and excitement in training. Legs are fresher now. We are not where we can be, but we feel ready and competitive for tomorrow. Atmosphere is back to where it was before Arsenal. So that's really promising, you know, that, you know, yes, that probably took a dip, but I think Tuchel went on to say that, you know, the Arsenal game was a bit of a wake-up call and maybe we needed it. And I think we probably did need something like that. We were a bit complacent. Things weren't going so well in the transfer market. We were struggling to get deals done. We were missing out on players that we desperately wanted. But yeah, things seem to be better. There seems to be a new focus. And we are kind of full steam ahead towards the start of the season now. You know, tomorrow it all kicks off. Big trip to Everton, the 5:30 kickoff on Saturday. It's going to be an exciting game. You know, we don't have the best of records there. I take anything scrappy, sort of 1-0 now. I'm looking forward to seeing the likes of Raheem Sterling. Looking forward to seeing Koulibaly make his full debut. Cucurella potentially making a debut as well. And as long as we just push on from the Udinese game, then I hope we can get a decent result. But I'll get into that a little bit later on. But right now, I'm going to bring up the lineup on the screen, what we think we're going to go in. Guys in the chat, get involved. Let me know what you think the lineup's going to be. Got it nicely set up there, you know, new away kit colours, blue and white. But yeah, let's get straight into it, people. Let me know your thoughts in the chat as well, if you agree or disagree with my team selection. This is not what I think Tuchel's going to pick. This is what I would personally go with if I was picking a team. But yeah, guys, before we get into this, please do smash the likes if you haven't done so already. And please do click that subscribe button even. Subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out. Looking to hit 1.2K by the end of this stream. It's only a few more subscribers. So if you're new around here and you're tuning in now, please do click the subscribe button. It would really help me out and I would really appreciate it. Let's get straight into it then, people. So we are 6 subscribers from that 1.2K. So 6 of you, please do click that subscribe button. Would really appreciate it and smash the likes. Right then, in goal, guys. It's going to be obvious. It's going to be Edouard Mendy. Kepa is virtually on his way out. I think a loan deal with Napoli is imminent. I'm not sure what we're going to do about the number 2 keeping position. We'll have to wait until Kepa does officially leave. But it's going to be Edouard Mendy in goal. I think that's pretty straightforward. Yes, he's been patchy in pre-season. That his form's not been the best. He's made a few mistakes. Back in the last season, he was making a few mistakes as well. But he still is the undisputed number 1. The season's a new slate. If he continues making these mistakes into the start of the season for the first few games, then potentially there's a question to be asked and maybe a change to be made between the sticks, possibly. But right now, he's still a number 1 keeper. He's done so well since he's been here. So yeah, he'll be between the sticks. I've gone with a I've gone with the back three. Obviously, I think we're definitely going to play that. Daniel, big up, mate. Thanks for tuning in, bro. Player right-hand side centre-back. It's going to be interesting. We haven't really seen a lot of Chalobah in pre-season. He has played, but it looks like Tuchel's preferred Azpi in the right centre-back role. I mean, personally, I don't experience Goodison's an intimidating atmosphere. I think I would probably just give Azpi the nod in this one. I'm going to go with Azpilicueta at right centre-back, just for his experience and his know-how, intimidating atmosphere, hard place to go. It may well suit the experience of Azpilicueta slightly better. But again, it could easily be Chalobah. So, but if I had to, it's a toss of a coin, but I'll go Azpi for that one. So we've got Azpilicueta. I'm going right centre-back, but could easily be Chalobah. I'm going Thiago Silva in the middle. Not really much needed to be said about him. You know, he's ready for the new season. Just a phenomenal player, so calm on the ball, so relaxed, makes the game look so easy. And it's going to be a tough afternoon for him. Everton, physical, it's intimidating. No Richarlison, no Calvert-Lewin. It's obviously a big plus. Should make things a little bit easier, but still not to be underestimated at Goodison Park, particularly given our record there as well. But we're going to go Thiago Silva there. And then we're going to go with the new number 26, K squared, Koulibaly. Really excited to see his full Premier League debut. He's looked really good when he's come on in pre-season. He's an upgrade on Rudiger 100%, I feel. He's looked really good in pre-season, been making some great tackles, looks so calm on the ball. He's great at bringing the ball out. His range of passing is phenomenal. Yeah, I'm really excited to see him. He's a physical specimen. He should be able to deal with the physical threat of Everton quite well. So yeah, I'm really excited for it. But yeah, it's a very, very experienced backline there. All over 30, Azpi, Silva and Koulibaly. But I think that experience is going to prove invaluable. I can't see anyone else starting in the backline apart from possibly Trevor Chalobah on that left-hand side. But on that right-hand side, centre-back, sorry. But yeah, moving forwards then, let's move on to right wing back. Again, that's a very simple choice. Reece James. Starters, there's not really anyone else to play there, and we wouldn't play anyone else. Or anyway, we saw how important him as an attacker is and an outlet to sign going forwards. He's so creative. He pops up with goals. He puts loads of balls into the box. Gets plenty of assists. He's probably one of our best attacking outlets. And in this system, obviously, the wing backs are so important to contributing to the attacking phases of play. So yeah, Reece James easily slots in at that right wing back role. Dan, just get to your question now. I think, despite the fact he's only had one training session, Alonso's leaving. I'd be surprised if he played. Tuchel doesn't fancy Emerson at left wing back because in the pre-season all he did was play him at left centre back. And he preferred Alonso over him last season anyway because he sent Emerson out on loan. So for me, Chile is getting back up to scratch. Tuchel said, he's still not quite ready. And, when he said, Cucurella coming in means that there's not a huge pressure on Chilwell to get back and up and running straight away. I feel that Chilwell will probably be on the bench tomorrow. I do think, personally, I would chuck in Cucurella straight away because Alonso's leaving. I'd be surprised if he played. I mean, I equally wouldn't be surprised if we did see Alonso play, but I'm going to go with the new signing. I think we could see a debut for Cucurella straight away, really, and it would be a bit of a baptism of fire. One training session under his belt only, but at the same time, it could be exciting. I mean, I think Cucurella would definitely start over Alonso, and I think he will start over Chile as well. I don't think Chile's quite ready yet, as I think we saw that in the pre-season, still looking a little bit rusty. In regards to that. But yeah, that's my back five. And Mendy in goal, Azpi, Silva, Koulibaly, Reece James and Cucurella as wing backs. I think that could be really good. Moving into the midfield then. I think it's obvious Tuchel loves Kante, and if Kante's fit, Kante plays. So Kante will play. I think, to be honest, not going to the States for the pre-season tour was a bit of a blessing in disguise for Kante. He was a bit more rested training at Cobham. Obviously played a game against Boreham Wood. I'm not sure they played in any more behind closed doors games. But he looks really good against Udinese, back to his best. He looks fresh. And if we can keep him fit, then he's going to be such an important player for us. Obviously going into the last year of his contract now, so I don't know what the future holds for N'Golo, but he can definitely play a big part this season. But we've really got to manage his minutes in terms of even if he's fit to play, just don't start him every game. Bring him off when a game's done and dusted. We need to rest him, manage his minutes properly. But for me, I think he'll start tomorrow. He's fit. It's a tough away game. I think he'll slot straight in. This is an interesting one now. Alongside him, I really liked Jorginho alongside him in that Udinese game. But again, Kovacic offers something more as well. But I don't know if he just want to be slightly more defensive minded away at Everton. It's a toss up for me, but I think, to be honest, for me, I'd just go Jorginho in this one. I just think he's had a good pre-season. It was a difficult season last season for him, and he looks really good. And this is the sort of game where you want to dictate the tempo, control the game, slow it down where you can. Thwart all Everton's momentum. Try and get the crowd down. So I think Jorginho would work well here, and then obviously the likes of Kovacic or Gallagher to come off the bench and mix things up a little bit. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Kovacic started either, but I'd probably just go with Jorginho on this one. Moving on to the front three now, I'm going to be playing Mason Mount down the right-hand side. It's kind of obvious, really. Ziyech is not really up to it at the moment. Pulisic had a poor pre-season. Werner doesn't want to be here. Callum's not quite at it still at the moment. Sterling, I think, will play down the left-hand side. And Mason Mount, most consistent attack. I thought he's had a good pre-season off the back of that 30 goals and assists that he posted up last season. So again, just to push on Mount again. We know he can do it, so we just want to see it again on another more consistent basis. So for me, Mason Mount on that right-hand side, it pretty much picks itself. And as does the left-hand side. At the moment, this front three does pretty much pick itself anyway. We have Raheem Sterling down the left, or again, could play these. Mount and Sterling can obviously interchange. The whole front line can interchange, of course. But yeah, for me, I'd go Mount right-hand side, Sterling left-hand side. And I'm really looking forward to seeing Sterling make his competitive debut for Chelsea. He's looked so good in the pre-season. Direct. It's so refreshing to see a Chelsea forward player look so direct, taking players on, running at players, making things happen. He's good on the ball. He's really good at dribbling, keeps the ball really close to his feet. He's great in tight spaces. Yes, his finishing's not the best. We did see him, excuse me. We did see him miss a couple of good opportunities against Udinese, but he's been one of the more promising players within the pre-season. So, yeah, I really can't wait to see him make his competitive debut back on Merseyside. It'll probably be a few boos for him because he was a former Liverpool player, but hostile environment. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing Sterling make his competitive debut. And I think, yeah, this is going to be a big season for him. And it'd be great for him to start well, have a good game, getting a goal or an assist. But yeah, really excited to see Raheem Sterling in a Chelsea shirt and see what he can do on what will be his competitive debut. Moving then on to the final position. It's going to be Kai Havertz. For those of you that tune in regularly know that I have been quite critical of Havertz. I just don't think he's done enough. This is ability there, but we've paid obviously 70-odd million pounds for him going into the third season now, and he's kind of just a moments player. This season, it looks like he's going to be leading the line only really with Brozier as competition, unless we bring in another forward player. But this is, again, another big opportunity for Kai. Last season at Goodison, he had a really, really terrible game. So we need an improvement on that. We just need more consistency. We really do need more consistency. I just don't know if he can deliver it or not. He's got the physicality. He's got the skill set. It's just putting it all together for Kai. And this season is going to be a massive season. Third season, the pressure's on. He has got to deliver. I'm not saying he's got to score 20 Premier League goals, but he needs 15 or between 12 and 15. But I don't think Brogier's going to start again. He's been injured. He's literally only played 45 minutes against Udinese in pre-season. I think he could probably come off the bench, give us a good option, a different profile, an actual out-and-out 9. But yeah, I can't see any other players starting in that front three. That is going to be the front three, and it's a big season for all of them. But it's particularly the pressure's now on for Kai Havertz to step up and deliver. He is the main man now. There's no Lukaku here anymore. Werner's going, and Brozier is kind of up and coming. Not the finished article. Neither is Kai, but he's a step back in his development. So I can't see Brozier's got an opportunity to displace Havertz if he performs on a consistent basis and whatnot. But yeah, for me, Kai Havertz. It's going to be a big season. He didn't play well at Goodison last year. It's going to be physical up against those centre backs, Mina and Tarkowski or Michael Keane, whoever it is. They're going to make it difficult for him. They're going to bully him. They're going to get physical. Going to get up in his face. Kai's got to keep his temperament and just use his body. Do what he can and show the ability that he's got. But let's have a look at this one here. Yeah, I agreed, mate. Havertz and Pulisic, it's a make or break season. You probably add Callum Hudson-Odoi to that list as well. You know, these guys are fighting for their Chelsea future. If it doesn't really happen this season, then I think they could be out the door. I wouldn't even be surprised, to be honest, if Pulisic if he doesn't get many minutes at the start of the season, he might look to force a move. Texas Blue, big up, bro. Is Mina playing for Everton? I presume so, mate. I've not fully looked at the team news, but it was awful last season. I was there and it was terrible. Mina did bully Havertz. It wasn't great. I think it'll be Mina and Tarkowski as the first choice centre-back pairing for Everton. I presume they're both fit. I've not checked up on that team news as such. But yeah, I think it will be. It's going to be a big moment. I think we could well see, the debut of a competitive debut, I think, for Conor Gallagher and obviously Brozier as well. But yeah, that would be my lineup, guys. Let me know if you've got any. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with any of that. But that's my team. I've gone with Mendy, Aspi, Silva, Koulibaly, James, Cucurella, Kante, Jorginho, Mount, Havertz, and Sterling. Obviously, I'd like to see Conor Gallagher get some minutes. I'd even like to see Chukwuemeka possibly get some minutes. Do I have a season ticket? No, unfortunately not, mate. I used to have a season ticket back in the day. I say back in the day, I'm not exactly old. I'm only 30, but back in the day, that shirt behind me, that 2004-5 one, I had a season ticket for 3 seasons in the West Upper, as it was back then. I had it Mourinho's first year, so I had it start of 2004 until the end of 2007. But yeah, not anymore. I don't, mate. I try and go to as many games as possible. But yeah, no, the Westview stuff is a joke, by the way. It's like the season ticket's like £1,000 or whatever it is, and then you've got obviously tickets for the Spurs game. Outrageous, you got restricted view in the Westview, 160 quid, or a ticket in the Westview, the decent view, 240. It's just outrageous. They'll see that when that doesn't sell out, they'll have to bring those prices down. Let's have a quick look here, mate. More of a 3-4-1-2, Mount in a cam roll. Gallagher can rotate with Mount. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. I mean, let me just have a quick look at that. I mean, we could see 3-5-2. I mean, I think Tuchel did, or someone, I think Koulibaly, when he was unveiled on Wednesday, did say that the formation could be 3-5-2. So I wouldn't be surprised if at times we did maybe see this a bit like a Christmas tree formation, as it were. See Mendy, and we've got Aspi, Silva, Koulibaly, James, Cucurella, and then that Kante and Jorginho with Mount as a 10 or more of an 8. I mean, we could see that. I mean, it's possible Gallagher could play in that 10 role. I mean, we've got Havertz and Sterling as a 2. That's definitely an option there, and that's kind of fluid and can interchange as well. But I think, to be honest, to start with, I think we will see the kind of the tried and tested. But that 3-5-2 is definitely there to switch things up, and Mount can drop a little bit deeper, and we'll see what happens with that. What we got here? Everton don't have a striker. Yeah, mate, I actually can't think of the Everton striker because no Calvert-Lewin. Richarlison's gone to Spurs. I don't know what other options they've actually got there, if I'm being perfectly honest. Let's have a quick look here. I looked for the Spurs game. I could only get 240 in Westview. Yeah, was there for the Newcastle game. Yeah, mate, I sat in the Westview for Chelsea versus Lille in the Champions League last season. Just thought I'd test it out. The view's great. Give you that. The atmosphere, as you say, is dead. It's a shit atmosphere. It's just people there on corporate, as you say. It's rich people. They just go there after work. They're not interested in the game. They're just sitting there chatting about other shit. It's kind of like I don't want to say the tourists, but it's like not really the real fans, as it were. They like Chelsea, but they're not really that arsed. They're just going because it's like an event and they want to just go and do something of an evening. But yeah, Westview is dead for atmosphere. If you want to sit in I'm advising you guys, don't go to Stamford Bridge and sit in the Westview. The view's great, but other than that, it's just dead vibes there. You don't want to go there, and it's an absolute rip-off as well. But yeah, that's my team, people. That is my team. Let me know your thoughts in the chat, guys. Please do also smash the like button if you haven't done so already. And please do click that subscribe button, guys. I want to hit 1.2K by the end of this stream, people. You're doing well so far, but I know you can do better than this, guys. Please get into that 1.2K mark. We have got 5 more subscribers to the 1.2K. Let's get that before the stream rounds out. 5 subscribers. So if you haven't clicked that subscribe button, please click the button now. It really helped me out, guys. I was in the shed for the Lille game. Much better atmosphere. Yeah, agreed, mate. I normally sit Matthew Harding lower, and it is much better atmosphere when you're closer to the pitch. You're in with the fans. It's a bit hard. It's hardcore. And it's what it's all about with the Chelsea. But yeah, guys, that is my team for tomorrow. Let me know your thoughts in the chat if you agree or disagree, if you do anything different. I just wanted to bring a couple of things up. Now, I was obviously referring to Wesley Fofana earlier on. I just want to bring this tweet up from Pice. Let's have a quick look now. It's just kind of, it's from Matt Law. It's not exactly breaking news, but it's kind of what we expected. Chelsea may have to break the world record for a defender in regards to Wesley Fofana. I think it's understood Chelsea have signalled intention they would be willing to pay over £70 million for Fofana. However, Leicester are holding out for over 80 million. I think Maguire is the most expensive centre-back in the world at 80 million so far. Chelsea may have to break the world record for a defender. If we do that, as I was touched on at the touch of the stream at the top of the show, we've got world record goalkeeper in Kepa. We have world record for a centre forward in Romelu Lukaku, and we've got a world record for a left back in Cucurella. And now it could be a world record for Wesley Fofana, a centre back. Look, at the end of the money is big. The money is big, people. Let's make no mistake about it. But 2 things I want to say. 1, he's a top player. If you want top players, you've got to pay top money. 2, it's not our money, so should we really be that bothered? I don't think so. Yeah, I mean, 80 million is ridiculous, but it's not our money. And if you want the player, you've got to pay the price. So if we're desperate, we are slightly desperate for a centre-back. Fofana fits the bill. He's obviously the number 1 target. Bowley's going to put the money on the table. We can recoup some of that back through player sales. So, yeah, I mean, we probably shouldn't pay a world record fee for him. But I think at the end of the day, I think we could probably get this done for under. I think, yeah, initial fee with add-ons could go over the 85 million, could go over 80 million pounds. But I think the main fee without the add-ons will probably be just under. So just saying there, Matt Law saying that, Chelsea could have to pay a world record fee if they want to land Wesley Fofana. I mean, it would be absolute scenes. I would be loving it, but at the same time, it's a lot of money, but we do need it. We need a defender. He's the number 1. He's a number 1 priority. So yeah, I think we should get it done. I'm just having a quick scroll through now, guys. If there's any other news to bring you up to date with, just what Matt Law said. Chelsea made it clear they'd be willing to pay over 70 million for Fofana. Leicester value him at over 80. Talks are ongoing, despite insistence that he's not for sale. People, that seems to be pretty much it on the transfer latest. That's my team now. It seems like a good point to round out. Score prediction for tomorrow. This is going to be a tough one. I don't think there's going to be many goals in it. Will we keep a clean sheet? I'm not sure. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Chelsea. Chelsea to win 2-1. I'm going to go for. It's going to be tough, but I think we will end that Goodison Park hoodoo. Poor record there. So, yeah, I'm confident, optimistic heading into the new season. It's the first game of the season. I can't come onto the channel and say we're not going to win the first game of the season. It's possible that we might not. I could definitely see a draw happening, and we could continue our dog shit record and lose. Who knows? But I'm going to go in with some optimism, some confidence. I'm going to say a 2-1 win to Chelsea to kick off the season with a win. I'm going to go for a debut goal from Raheem Sterling, and who else is going to get on the score sheet? Mason Mount. I'm going to go goals from Sterling and Mount, and we're going to win 2-1. But as long as we win, I don't really care what happens. As long as we just get the 3 points on the board. The start of the season is just about getting the results. The performances will come later on in the season. Just get those points on the board, get a solid start, and then build from there as we click into gear, get fitter, chemistry improves between the players, the new signings settle in more. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Chelsea. But yeah, guys, seems like a good point to round out. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, thanks for getting involved in the chat. I will be back tomorrow with George, and we'll be doing a watch-along for the Everton-Chelsea game. So please do join us at 5:15 p.m. UK time. 15 minutes before kickoff, we'll be doing a watch-along for the first game of the season, Everton versus Chelsea. So make sure you check that out. As I said, please do smash the likes. Please hit that subscribe button. And we'll be back tomorrow for the watch along and any more transfer news. So, guys, hopefully see lots of you here tomorrow for that watch along. But until then, enjoy your Friday evening. Have a good weekend. And I will catch you tomorrow night for the game. But until then, take care, up the Chels, and smash that subscribe button on the way out, people.